everyone. This is Daryl Guberman-CEO of Guberman-PMC, LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. We're going to take a real quick paragraph that we designed over time concerning many companies scratching their head about ISO certification. When I say ISO certification, that encompasses not just ISO 9001-2015. It also encompasses AS9100, Revision D. It also encompasses ISO 1345 for medical, AS of course is for aerospace, ISO 27001 for cyber, and other derivatives of the standard. It's just not ISO. So that's what I want to get through. Out of trial and error and 40 plus years in quality and dealing in the ISO arena, and then going into business for myself in 2011, splitting my company in two in 2012 as a registrar. In 2013, I gave a speech at the American Society for Quality. At the time, the ASQ and ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, owned ANAB, the American National Accrediting Board, 50-50. Mr. Dave Levy came in to discredit me at this seminar that I gave in 2013, and he couldn't do it. He said, Mr. Guberman, we have no problem. ANAB has no problem with what Guberman-PMC is doing in the space of certification. That was 50% approval. We didn't care. We wanted independence. Don't you, business owners? You don't want a yoke on your neck to do the things, get pulled this way or that way. Well, I will say this. Do you see these on my wrist? I used to be a slave for somebody else. Everybody asked me, Daryl, what is that? I used to be a slave for somebody else. So when I opened my business, I wanted a symbolism so I never forget where I come from. I never forgot that I made other people very wealthy with using my talents and abilities in the quality space and manufacturing space. So Dave Levy approved us. In 2016, this was 1 year after the International Accreditation form incorporated in Delaware was handed over to a communist Chinese national, Xiao. Xiao had been involved with our quality since 1994. He, at the time, was also the chief executive of the China National Accreditation Services in Beijing, China, and he was standing in the lab. We've had pictures on videos. Put it down below, or you can look on my YouTube channel. He was standing in the lab in 2017, handing over an ISO 17025 laboratory certification at the Bio Level 4 lab in Wuhan, China, no less, the laboratory that more than likely released the COVID virus. It was a combination of China and the United States. We have a Chinese technical magazine that states that. I've showed that to you before. The second workshop of diseases in Wuhan, China, a collaboration between the United States and China between May 17th to 19th, 2017, 2 years before a COVID outbreak. And it is absolutely unbelievable, the stuff that you dig out of this mess. Most people have no clue when it comes to ISO certification. I'm going to also tell you in 2016, we got a letter from Randy Doughtery. At that time, he was the technical advisor of ANAB, and also the treasurer and principal on the International Accreditation Forum, a tax forum. ANSI and ANAB on government contracts and throughout the internet was discovered by our company to be underwriters for the IAF and also ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. When Xiao, as the IAF chairman, walked into the lab in China, Wuhan, China, the responsibility legally was ANSI-ANAB. Don't let any lawyer bullshit you. Okay, because I will tell you why they'll bullshit, because sitting on ANSI's board is the Department of Justice, and ANSI deals very harmoniously with the American Bar Association. So what do you think? The responsibility, when ANSI-ANAB states that we are only certifying the system, By them being underwriters, that is squashed. That's a dead issue. Don't let anybody, I will be your expert witness. I won't stand in that court. I rather go out of the country because the courts in this country are tainted. And I read many times that a lawyer of 40 years wrote me an email and said in both state and federal courtrooms, it is blue smoke and mirrors, and in the political world, it's a charade. It's a charade. That's why they have stays. That's, and the judge is put in place to make the plaintiff's attorney a lot of money and the defendant's attorney a lot of money. But getting back to this. So anybody who thinks that they're not responsible, ANSI and ANAB are culpable by being the underwriters. So Randy invited us in 2016, how in good conscience as a proud American, as somebody who is independent, would want to get involved. He said, you can join ANAB or IAF or both. How in good conscience could I do this? For those of you who've got registrars with the accreditation body of ANAB and say, I gotta do it. I've got a good relationship with my auditor. Shame on you. I had a guy say to me once, Daryl, ISO is a nuisance. I have to keep my balls in the air. You know what he has to do? He keep his balls in his pants, because I do. Wow. So anyway, I'm going to read this to you. After many years of trial and error, thinking about how we can get it to the mindset of the quality manager, the quality vice president, the quality supervisor, and the quality people on the floor, and the owner of the business. I came up in 2011, and this is the statement that I used because I designed it and developed it. It is not the certificate that makes the company, it's the management personnel that makes the certificate. And here we go. A certificate doesn't make a company compliant to the regulations and standards for said certificate. That is the company's doing and the company's responsibility. You can read the standard forwards and backwards and forwards, but the standard will not implement those systems. That is something the company has to put forth the effort and do. The standard provides instruction. The company does the work. And this video today is about a quality expert, Daryl Guberman, explains to the general public and also quality professionals what it is to implement a true quality system. Because, as Igor Sikorsky said, it is the work of the individual that works, that does the business at the end of the day. My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS at yahoo.com. And I will say this from me to you. I love the man who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, and he whose heart is firm and conscience approves his conduct shall pursue his principles unto death. Thomas Paine. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, quality professionals. 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS at yahoo.com. Thank you.